What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. For some reason, people have been asking me to take the 16 personality test. I haven't taken it yet. I have my computer right here and we're going to take it together. It doesn't really tell me anything here, but it just says free personality test that takes less than 12 minutes. Answer honestly even if you don't like the answer and try not to leave any neutral answers. Okay, here we go. Again, I have not seen any of these questions. I'm just going to go ahead and do it with you guys right here. So here we go. Free personality test. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Not so much anymore. Maybe like not completely, but not totally. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. No. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. I'm gonna have to fully disagree there because I'm horrible at checking emails. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused even when there's some pressure. I used to, not so much anymore. I'm not gonna go completely disagree, I'm gonna go like middle. You do not usually initiate conversations. I agree with that. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. I think I somewhat agree. Next. You feel superior to other people. Completely disagree. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. I think I kind of disagree. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. Agree. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. Winning a debate matters less to you than making... I somewhat agree with that, yeah. You often feel as you have to justify yourself to other people. Totally agree. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Yeah, they're not horrible, but I not completely agree. I'm trying really best not to hit this neutral button. You do not mind being at the center of attention. Not completely and not. I don't agree or disagree with that one. But I mean, I don't mind it. So I'm gonna not go all the way, but somewhat. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Disagree. People can rarely upset you. I agree, somewhat. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. Disagree. It's often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. Totally disagree. Your mood can change very quickly. Somewhat agree. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. I somewhat disagree. I feel really bad. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. Completely disagree. Your work style is closer to a random energy spike than to a methodical and organized approach. Yes, totally agree. I wish it weren't though. You are often envious of others. Hate to say it, but somewhat agree. An interesting book or a video game is often better than a social event. I mean, it depends. I somewhat disagree. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Somewhat agree, because things could happen. You rarely get carried away by fantasy. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Completely disagree. I'm always in fantasy land. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. Somewhat agree. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. Not completely, but somewhat. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Completely agree. You do not let other people influence your actions. I think I'm like right in the middle there. So I'm just going to put somewhat disagree. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. Disagree. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. Somewhat agree. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Somewhat agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. 100% agree. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-play activities. Somewhat disagree. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Completely agree. I am so interested on these results. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Sometimes, but not all the time. Somewhat agree. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. Disagree. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Agree. I'm going to say somewhat agree. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence all the time. Agree. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. Completely disagree. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. Totally agree. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with a problem. Somewhat agree there. You're such an emotional person. Thanks, Dad. You rarely feel insecure. Completely disagree. No, let's say somewhat because I'm much better. I'm much better now. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. Completely disagree. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. Disagree. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Somewhat agree, because facts are facts. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Somewhat agree. You frequently misplace your things. Somewhat agree. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Define stable. I'm going to somewhat disagree. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Completely agree. You would not call yourself a dreamer. Yeah, right. Dreamer's my middle name. Disagree. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Somewhat agree. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. Somewhat disagree. You worry too much about what other people think. Again, I hate saying this, but completely agree. I think this is the last little list here. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. I disagree. You have a tendency to procrastinate. Until there's not enough time to do everything. Somewhat agree. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Now I do, yeah, but I'm going to put somewhat because I don't think I'm fully there yet. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than it is to be powerful. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. I'm going to have to agree with that. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. For example, books, art, movies. Agree. You often take initiative in social situations. Depends. So I'm going to say somewhat. Oh, results. Oh, I just move. Okay. Your personality type is campaigner, ENFP/T. Mind. The trait determines how we interact with our environment. I am 64% extroverted, 36% introverted. Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. Intuitive. 80% observant, 20%. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. 8% thinking, 92% feeling, 100% correct. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. 23% judging, 77% prospecting. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. I am 19% assertive and 81% turbulent. I don't know. I feel like that's bad. I don't know what that means. And then there's a little picture right here saying, what do you mean life is boring? Are we living on the same planet? I'm not going to read this whole thing because it has so many different, like, it just explains everything, but I just did read the introduction, and I'm gonna have to say that this is completely accurate. Like, for example, they have a quote in the beginning and it says, it doesn't interest me what you do for a living, I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are, I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. And that is completely true. That sums me up completely. And it's really funny because I'm going to a yoga retreat on Thursday, and I was telling Taz, oh, I leave Friday, and he says, oh, mommy's a free spirit, like talking to Bleeker. And the first sentence here says, the campaigner's personality is a true free spirit. They are often the life of the party, but unlike types in the Explorer role group, campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are in enjoying the social and emotional connections they make with others. And some other things that they said that I actually agree with. Campaigners are fiercely independent, and much more than stability and security, they crave creativity and freedom. That's so true. And then over here I read, campaigners' self-esteem is dependent on their ability to come up with original solutions, and they need to know that they have the freedom to be innovative. They can quickly lose patience or become dejected if they get trapped in a boring role. 100%. And then here it says the campaigner personality type needs to be careful, however. If they rely too much on their intuition, assume or anticipate too much about a friend's motivations, they can misread the signals and frustrate plans that are a more straightforward approach would have made simple. Campaigners are very emotional and sensitive, and when they step on someone's toes, they both feel it, which is super true. I'm very emotional, and I always feel like sometimes I might say something wrong and affect their mood. Like, it's very weird. And then one thing that I really enjoyed about reading this is campaigners will spend a lot of time exploring social relationships, feelings, and ideas before they find something that really rings true. But when they finally do find their place in the world, their imagination, empathy, and courage are likely to produce incredible results. And then it says campaigners you may know, Robert Downey Jr., Will Smith, Robin Williams, and Drew Barrymore. And then it goes on to strengths and weaknesses. I'm curious to see my weakness. I'm just going to read them to you. I'm not going to go deep into it, but campaigner strengths. Curious, observant, energetic, and enthusiastic. Excellent communicators. They know how to relax. Very popular and friendly. And my weaknesses. Poor practical skills. Yep. Find it difficult to focus. Yep. Overthink things. Yep. Get stressed easily. Yep. Highly emotional. Yep. Independent to a fault. I don't know if I agree with that one. Romantic relationships. You cannot live without a fire. 100%. Can't I fly helicopters and be an oceanographer who writes, sings, and cooks? It's a big world out there, perhaps even a little too big. Campaigners are fascinated by new ideas, both in terms of developments in fields they are already familiar with and when new subjects come along. The trick for people with this campaigner personality type is to take advantage of this quality, this wonder with the magnificent breadth and detail in the world, and use it to propel themselves further and deeper than others are willing or able to go. If there's a challenge campaigners face when selecting a career, it isn't that they lack talent or options or drive. It is that there are so many things out there that are just cool. Oh my God, this is what I was telling Taz the other day. This is amazing. I'm going to keep reading. I wonder if I can share this with you guys if you guys are interested in reading about my personality. Conclusion. I guess I'll read this for you guys. Few personality types are as creative and charismatic as campaigners. Known for their idealism and enthusiasm, campaigners are good at dealing with unexpected challenges and brightening the lives of those around them. Campaigners' imagination is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet campaigners can be easily tripped up in areas where idealism and kindness are more of a liability than an asset. Whether it's finding or keeping a partner, staying calm under pressure, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or making difficult decisions, campaigners need to put in conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. This is all very interesting. If you guys are curious about your personality, I think the website is just 16personalities.com. This was not a sponsored video. I just kept getting comments about me doing this personality test. So I hope this video was a good way of me doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I am very curious to see what your personality types are. So if you want to take it and let me know below, I'd really appreciate that. Now I'm off to do more research on this personality type because it was crazy how accurate this was. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for asking me to take this. It opened up a lot to me, and I can't wait to learn some more. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.